That was my 5-year plan, was to be alive. That's crazy. Hey, what's going on, family? Hey, thanks for joining me. So I had mentioned in a previous video that I was going to do a conversation around the stories we tell ourselves, right? So I was listening to some speakers talk. I can't remember exactly who it was. I probably should have looked it up. I don't know. I might go back and look it up. I might not. But what the phrase that was impactful to me, the phrase that meant so much, was he said, we can never outgrow the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. Like, that really, really hit me hard. I was really internalizing it. So it's the truth. Like, and I have so many examples of in my life of where I was hindered by the stories I told myself about myself. So to give you guys some insight on me, those that don't know me, retired Marine Corps. Hoorah, let's go. Retired Marine Corps, grew up in the Midwest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Back in the 90s was crazy, right? You know, there's a lot of different things going on. And there's a lot of things I had to overcome growing up. I wasn't the best in school. I loved to learn, but I just didn't like dealing with people. And there was just a lot of troubles and things that I had to go through growing up. I made up this story of who Noble was, of how far I could go. And I made the story up at a very young age. And we all do it. We all take bits and pieces of our environment and our interactions, and we create our persona, our image of ourselves. And we kind of define it out. But there's these events. There's events that come that change you. They can either change you for the better or change you for the worse. So for me, growing up, I want to give you three different examples or three different points that I want to kind of point out about this story we tell ourselves and the evidence that it has been in my life. So I wanted to give you an example of something that was accomplished because of the story I told myself. Growing up, again, back in the 90s, there's gangs, there's violence, there's crime, I was on the path to becoming a stereotype. The statistic is what I meant. The statistic, either dead or in jail by 21. That was a thing. Dead or in jail by 21. And that was a real story that I told myself from the things that I saw and the things that I was told. So I said to myself, if I live to be 21, I'm going to change my life. If I live to be 21, I'm going to change my entire life. I was about 16 years old around this time, and I kind of made this up to myself, and I told a few people, but it was something I reminded myself of. I still did a lot of stupid stuff because I figured, hey, if it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. I want to go make it. I still believe that a lot. I still believe that if it's my time, it's just my time, right? But obviously it's not. So this story, I told myself if I lived to be 21, I would change my life. And this was like I was 16, so we're talking like 5 years. That was my 5-year plan, was to be alive. That's crazy. But I made it. And it was touch and go for a while, and it was scary for a while. I remember just, dreading it and being so afraid as closer to my birthday got, my 21st birthday got. I didn't want to be the cliche of he said he was going to change everything at 21, and he dies on the night before his 21st birthday. But it was always in the back of my mind. I used to tell myself this all the time, that if I live to be 21, I'm going to change my life. So I turned 21. And right after that, I vowed to finish school. I vowed to go to the Marine Corps. I devised a plan to change my circumstance. I devised a plan to not settle for anything less than that. And that's where this kind of comes in. if you settle for something, if you tell yourself something and you have the image in your mind, you are willing to settle for whatever that image is, whatever you expect that image to have. So if you expect that image not to have a lot, you will not have a lot. You will self-sabotage yourself to not have a lot, and you will limit yourself every single time. But if you believe that image to be more, or to have more, or to accomplish more, then you will. I did. I lived to be 21. I changed my life. I joined the Marine Corps. Well, let's back up. I got kicked out of school a lot. It took me 8 years to graduate high school. Few people know this, few people don't. My family and friends were saying, oh, just get your GED. Nothing wrong with a GED. But the image I had in my head, said that I had to get a diploma. So I was like, no. I went to a technical college for their adult high school program to graduate high school with a diploma. It added a year. I think I graduated around like 20. I think I was 22 at the time, because I joined the Marine Corps shortly thereafter. The whole while, the recruiter was chasing me down, saying, "Hey, just get your GED." I had my mom and my family telling me, "Just get your GED." I couldn't, because of the story I told myself. I had to do more. I had it already planned out. Here I am. I'm 45 years old now. Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. Oh my. Stop it. Thank you so much. But yeah, 45 years old now, right? Now, I really truly believe that everything past my 21st birthday, it has been a gift. So that's one of the ways that, it can work for you. It can work for you. But now I'm gonna give you an example of where it can work against you. So I joined the Marine Corps. I go off, I'm doing great things, having a great time, getting promoted really fast, jumping into leadership roles. I really enjoy, helping people and being responsible for their well-being and the accomplishment of goals and missions. Get promoted relatively quickly, but the problem is that when I joined, I told myself another story. I told myself I only wanted to do 20 years. I wanted to use the Marine Corps to get a retirement. So I did just that. I accomplished the goal. Again, the accomplishment was there, right? However, I did just enough to accomplish it. I limited myself constantly because of the story that I told myself. The story that I made up of the image of who I was to be. Now, I made it to a staff sergeant, E6, staff sergeant, and I drug my feet on that, and then once I got there, I really didn't do a whole lot to get more than that. And I had stories on why I didn't. I had stories that, well, if I became, higher of an NCO or staff NCO, then I'll be further from my troops, for my Marines. And my Marines are what kept me there. And that was the joy that I had, was working with my Marines and taking care of my people and helping them excel and helping them grow. But at the same time, I limited myself to just E6. I could have done so much more. I had colleagues, I had friends, I had people I just knew. They were always telling me I needed to do more. I had leaders that pushed me to do more, and I pushed back. It was more energy to push back than it was to actually just get things done. I appreciate them all. I have a long list of fantastic people that I've had in my life and that have wanted me to do more and accomplish more, and it didn't fit the narrative. So did I accomplish the goal? Sure. I'm retired. I get a pension. It is what it is. I accomplished exactly what I said I was going to accomplish. But I could have done more. So that's where telling that story doesn't always serve us. It doesn't always serve us. And that's where we have to listen to the voices and critique them sometimes. So we can't keep walking around making up stories. Well, let me rephrase that. We can keep walking around making up stories, but what good is that going to do us? if they're limiting us, if they're holding us back. So I'm going to share with you the story that I've been telling myself now for a few years. Are you ready for this? I've been telling myself this story for a little while. It's I want to live abroad. I've seen a lot of the world. I really enjoyed it. I want to live abroad, somewhere tropical, somewhere gorgeous and nice, or in different places. But I want to make money in the US. The US is a fantastic place to make money. The US is a fantastic place to build a business. But I don't want to live here. Sure, come back and visit. Sure, absolutely. But, you know, the US, in the state of affairs right now, in my opinion, it's not a place for old men. No Country for Old Men. Seen that movie? I've seen it once. But that's my story now. I wanted to live abroad and make money in the US. So I see the picture and I know what I have to be or who I have to be to get that finish one. I'm reverse engineering this whole thing. So now I'm so much more mindful of, you know, the stories that we tell ourselves, the story that I'm telling myself. I'm reverse engineering that, and I've become more and more passionate about it, more and more focused about it. And like I said, when I heard this over the last weekend or so, when I heard this and it really internalized it for me, I try to make my actions in alignment of that vision all the time. What are the stories? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? What are the stories that you used to tell yourself about yourself that have held you back from who you could really be? What are the stories that you've told yourself about yourself that have shot you to the top, that have gotten you through the hard times, that have gotten you through the accomplishments that you wanted? What's the story you're telling yourself right now? You can change the narrative anytime because you're telling a story to yourself about yourself. Something about, put in the comments. I'm curious. I want to know. Share it with me. Let's make something real. Let's make something better. Hey family, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate everybody that's been liking and sharing the videos and the comments and the posts that I've been putting up. Thank you so much. Continue to do so. If you know anybody that, you know, needs a message, or I hope that I'm being of service and I hope that I'm being of value. If you know anybody that needs that or would appreciate it, share this video. Like, subscribe. I'm going to be putting some things out for us. It's all about staying savage. It's all about getting savage. It's all about staying savage. So thank you again so much. I'll see you guys again soon. All right, out.